Hi guys, so today's video is going to be another versus video, and it is going to be which edition of the Witcher books are the best. Whenever I do these versus videos, I like for all of you to get to say which editions you like the most, and so I will have a poll at the end of the video. You'll get to vote on your favorite of the 5 editions I will show you. There are of course other really amazing editions out there. There are more than 5, but YouTube only allows you to have 5 options at a time, so those will be the ones that we're looking at today. Last week I did this for the Mistborn series. I'll go ahead and have the results pop up over here. If you don't care about these results, then you can go ahead and skip to the time up on the screen. But I was really excited to see that so many people were kind of torn on which one they liked. It was, for the most part, pretty even. The Polish ones did win, but the US ones got just demolished. You guys agree? Those are not our favorites. Anyway, getting into the Witcher ones, I'll be very curious to see if that is the case as well, if the US ones are going to be the ones that get the least amount of votes. I have a feeling they will, because they're my personal least favorite, and a lot of other people I've spoken to also don't care for them. Since we're on the topic of the US Witcher covers though, let's go ahead and show them. While I do think the artwork for these is stunning, it doesn't pertain to the events in the books. And I'm okay with covers being vague and not really super specific to what's happening in the books. I don't need the cover to be a really obvious scene from the book or anything like that. It's okay if it's just kind of a feeling, but these don't have anything to do with the events in the books. So for those that don't know, the video games that have come out for Witcher, they are a what-if situation that takes place after the events of the books. And so the artwork on the covers is from primarily the Witcher 2 video game, and it is really fantastic art, but those events never take place in the books. In fact, one of the books has a picture of a dragon on it, and there is a dragon in Sword of Destiny, but there is not a dragon in The Last Wish, which is the cover that they put that artwork on. So while I do think the artwork is absolutely gorgeous and really detailed, and clearly the person who did the art is really talented and skilled, I just am so frustrated that that's our options here in America. I feel very like hoity-toity, what a brat to complain about that. If you've never seen these covers in person, maybe you live in a different country, this is what these look like. I do like the height of these a lot. I like the feel of them. I like the presentation, but yeah, I just find that the way they went about it is very confusing. Next up, we have the UK editions. These particular covers do appear on some other editions that I have seen, and while I am not a big fan of people that look like real people on the covers of my books, I do think that these at least sort of fit the books better. I also like the consistency of them, meaning that they all have that same dark look to them. I actually do own a couple of these. I've found them at my local used bookstores, and I've kind of picked them up because with the current options for reading these in English, I think I would rather have these than the US ones, so I've been gradually taking my US ones to my local used bookstores, and if I find the UK ones, I've kind of been swapping them out. So this is what they look like in person. For those of you who are debating which ones that you personally would like to have, you can see they are pretty close in size. One other thing I'll add about these 2 particular editions is the bright red does definitely stand out on the shelf, especially when you have the whole series. And that's kind of cool. It's very striking, but I tend to like my books to kind of blend a little bit better for the most part. There's exceptions, but I almost always lean toward black, gray, or white covers. And so I think as far as how it looks on the shelf, these ones blend more, but if you're looking for that very striking sort of spine presentation on your shelf, the red ones do that better. Now on to the ones that are written in other languages, aka the better ones. I'm gonna start off with this particular Witcher set. This set is so cool. It has the word Witcher across the spine in Polish, and then it has Sapkowski's signature and a map, and I think it looks so cool on the shelf. It's one of those things where you definitely have to have the entire series either planned out or already out to pull off these kinds of covers where they go all the way across all of them, but they just have that custom feel to them, because usually you see these sorts of things from there are people that will make custom book sleeves for books once the whole series is out, that sort of thing. And so I just think that it looks awesome when you see them all on the shelf. The actual imagery on each of the covers is kind of what I was talking about earlier, where it is vague. So it's not really specific to the books necessarily, but it's also not just blatantly incorrect to the books. So I personally don't mind that. I just like the imagery, and I think having Geralt on the cover makes sense because he's in the series. So I like that they did that. I also like that, for me personally, and I know for some people maybe they'll be frustrated by this, but the American editions where they just have this cover art that is specific to the games, it's a little, I don't know, it just feels like it's not really paying respects to the fact that the books came first. It caused a lot of confusion for people as to the fact that the books came first. A lot of people still think the games came first. So I like that this particular edition, it sort of models Geralt in a way that's very similar to how he is presented in the Witcher 3 video game, which I love. That's how I got into the Witcher series. But it doesn't present it in a way that makes it seem as if the games came first. And also, it's not so strongly fitted to the games that it doesn't work as a cover for these editions. Here's what they look like in person, and this is gonna seem like a strange thing to say, and I don't know if it will make that much sense, but as is common for a lot of foreign editions, the imagery is printed right on the actual hardback, which I always think is really cool. But these hardbacks, they're really dense, whereas my other foreign editions, like these ones up here, they're printed right on the hardbacks, but they're kind of a softer, squishier hardback, and these are really sturdy. If I dropped this, I wouldn't be concerned for it at all. Getting to a different Witcher Polish edition, these ones are so cool. They actually do show you imagery from the scenes in the individual books, and they do it some of the best I've seen of any editions that I've come across. From what I can tell, both of the Polish editions are made by a company called Supernova, I believe, and it's on the black editions on the covers. You can see it. It's also on those white editions that I showed you. So this company, I feel like, is killing it. Lastly, we have the Spanish covers, and these for sure are contenders for me for being my favorites. It's tough. Basically, all the ones in other languages are pretty difficult for me to choose from. I think it comes down to the black Polish editions for me and these Spanish editions because they are so cool. They do something similar where they have very specific scenes from the books as the covers, and each of them, to me, it just looks very epic. The other ones, like I said, they feel more enchanting and a little more fairy tale-like, which I think fits Witcher really well. But these ones, you're getting more of the people and these really intense, they look more like fantasy covers, where I think the other ones look a hint more like fairy tale fantasy covers. Both are cool because Witcher is very much both, but man, it's tough for me to decide. These ones are really great. I'm looking at each of the individual covers on my iPad and just looking at the detail on this artwork, how crisp it is. It's really amazing. I'm kind of blown away by it. I really wish I had a physical copy that I could hold up for you guys. I can't really decide if I like the fact that these are really extremely specific scenes or if I like the other ones that are a little less specific. They are still pertaining to the events in the books, but they're a little bit more vague, so they capture perhaps the mood of the book a little better, where these are kind of like, look at this awesome fantasy art and story. That's kind of what these ones feel like to me. They're really cool. I want them. That is it for the 5 that I wanted to have you all vote on today. I know there are some other really cool editions out there. I think I've seen some really, really old White Witcher covers, and those were pretty cool too. But if you guys have links to other really cool Witcher editions, feel free to put those in the comments. If you didn't see the little thing pop down, you can hover on the screen, and that's where you can vote on which one you like the best. I am so curious to see which ones you guys end up liking the most, because I honestly can't decide. If you guys have things about them, specific things that you want to vocalize and chat about, I would love to see why you like certain covers more than others. I think I've made it pretty clear why I don't love the English ones as much, but as far as the rest of them, they're really great. Thanks so much for watching though. I'm not always going to have these versus videos be specific to covers. I will have some that are books against each other or publishers or characters, things like that. It's just I'm having fun with these cover ones right now. But if you have any suggestions for different cover ones that you'd like me to do, or just different versus ideas that you have in mind, feel free to leave those in the comments down below. But anyway, thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.